Part 1. New York City was a war zone. Jason "Hawk" Hawkins led his team through the chaos, their footsteps a synchronized beat against the cracked pavement. Explosions rattled the skyscrapers, sending debris raining down. The skizzle had turned the city into a battleground, and Hawk's unit was right in the thick of it. "Hawk, incoming on your 6!" shouted Evan Harper, his voice cutting through the din. Harp, their recon and intelligence officer, was a master of spotting threats before they became fatal. Hawk whirled, his rifle spitting fire. A skizzle soldier, reptilian and menacing, fell to the ground. "Thanks, Harp," he called back, pressing forward. "Tank, we need those explosives set," Hawk ordered. Marcus "Tank" Thompson, their demolition expert, nodded. He was a mountain of a man, bald with tattooed scalp gleaming in the firelight. He moved with surprising speed, planting charges to collapse a building and block the skizzle advance. "Doc, how's the evac going?" Hawk asked through his comm. "Slow but steady," replied David, Doc Carter, their medic. His calm voice was a beacon of stability amidst the chaos. "Got a few civilians out, but we're taking fire from the north." "Isaac, provide cover from the air," Hawk commanded. Isaac, Izzy Martinez, their pilot and tech specialist, was already in action. His drone zipped overhead, laying down suppressive fire and marking targets. Hawk's team wasn't alone. Around them, units of the U.S. Marines, Navy SEALs, and Army Rangers were engaged in fierce combat, working to push the skizzle back. The coordination was seamless, a testament to human resilience and adaptability. "Marines, we need support at the east flank," Hawk shouted into his radio. Almost immediately, a squad of Marines moved into position, their heavy firepower helping to turn the tide. A skizzle commander, larger and more armored than the others, roared a challenge. "Humans are weak. Your resistance is futile," it hissed in broken English. Harp snorted. "Yeah? Tell that to your dead buddies." Hawk grinned. "Humans may be many things, but weak isn't one of them." With a synchronized effort, they pushed the skizzle back, the combined forces of various military units showing the true might of humanity. Tanks' charges detonated, sending a building crashing down and cutting off the skizzle reinforcements. As the dust settled, Hawk surveyed the area. The immediate threat was neutralized, but the war was far from over. "Good work, team," he said, "but this is just the beginning. We need to secure more strategic points and get these civilians to safety." "What's our next move, Hawk?" Izzy asked, landing his drone for a quick recharge. "We regroup and hit their command post," Hawk replied, determination stealing his voice. "We've asked them to leave us alone. Now, we show them the consequences of ignoring us." "Roger that," Harp said, his green eyes flashing with resolve. With the skizzle temporarily pushed back, Hawk's team prepared for the next phase of their mission. The battle for Earth had only just begun, and humanity was ready to fight with everything they had. Part 2. Hawk and his team stood in the makeshift command center deep within the heart of an abandoned subway station. The room was dimly lit, with maps and tactical displays illuminating the stern faces of Earth's defenders. On the main screen, a group of skizzle leaders flickered into view, their reptilian features cold and calculating. "Representatives of the skizzle," Hawk began, his voice steady but firm. "We are here to make a final plea. Leave Earth and its people in peace. We've shown restraint, but if you continue your attacks, you will see a side of humanity you won't like." The lead skizzle, a high-ranking commander with scales that shimmered like molten metal, sneered. "Humans beg for peace? You are weak. Our conquest of your planet is inevitable." Hawk clenched his fists, but kept his composure. "You underestimate us. All we want is to live in peace. Do not test our resolve." Another skizzle leader, with eyes like burning coals, hissed, "Your threats mean nothing. We will take what we want." "You've made your choice," Hawk said, his voice dropping to a dangerous calm. "Remember, we warned you." The transmission ended abruptly. Hawk turned to his team. We gave them a chance. Now we need to show them why that was a mistake. We've got movement near Central Park, Harp reported, his fingers dancing over a console. Looks like they're massing for another attack. All right, everyone, Hawk said. Gear up. We're taking the fight to them. Above ground, the battle raged. The Skizzle had established a stronghold in Central Park, turning the once serene landscape into a fortified nightmare. As Hawk's team moved in, they coordinated with nearby units of Navy SEALs and Army Rangers. Captain Reynolds, Hawk called out to the leader of the SEALs. We need suppressive fire on their eastern flank. Copy that, Reynolds responded. We'll cover you. Under the cover of heavy fire, Hawk's team advanced. The park was a war zone, with trees splintered by gunfire and the air thick with the acrid smell of burning foliage. Tank led the charge, his exosuit absorbing impacts and returning fire with lethal precision. Doc moved swiftly, tending to the wounded as they went. Hang in there, soldier, he murmured to a downed Marine, his hands steady as he applied a field dressing. Izzy's drone zipped through the trees, providing aerial reconnaissance. Skizzle command post is up ahead, heavily guarded. Let's give them a warm welcome, Hawk said, signaling his team forward. The assault was brutal and efficient. Harp and Hawk took point, clearing the way with precise, coordinated strikes. Tank's explosives blasted through barriers, and Izzy provided critical tech support, hacking into Skizzle communications to sow confusion among their ranks. As they breached the command post, a Skizzle officer confronted them. Your resistance is futile, it roared. Hawk's eyes narrowed. Maybe you didn't hear me before. We're done asking. With a swift, decisive action, the team neutralized the officer and secured the command post. The victory was a significant blow to the Skizzle, but Hawk knew this was only a small part of a much larger war. We need to keep the pressure on, Hawk said, looking at the intel they had gathered. We have their battle plans. Next stop, their main supply line. Let's show them what happens when you push humans too far, Harp added, a fierce determination in his eyes. With renewed resolve, Hawk and his team prepared for the next phase of their mission. The Skizzle had been warned, and now they would face the full fury of humanity. Part 3. The night sky over New York was dark, punctuated by the occasional flash of gunfire and the distant rumble of explosions. Hawk's team moved silently through the ruins of an old office building, their steps echoing in the eerie silence. They were deep behind enemy lines, heading toward a suspected Skizzle command post hidden within the city's abandoned infrastructure. Hawk, we're picking up something strange on the scanners, Izzy whispered, his eyes glued to a handheld device. There's an unusual energy signature ahead. Stay alert, Hawk replied, his voice barely audible. Whatever it is, it's worth checking out. They moved cautiously, weaving through the debris. The building was a maze of collapsed ceilings and broken walls, creating a labyrinth that seemed to stretch endlessly. As they approached the source of the energy signature, they encountered increasingly sophisticated Skizzle technology. Looks like they've set up some kind of command center, Harp observed, pointing to a cluster of alien devices. This isn't just a base, it's a hub for their operations. Tank grinned, hefting his heavy weapon. Let's give them a surprise they'll never forget. They breached the command center with precision. Skizzle soldiers scrambled to respond, but Hawk's team was relentless. The humans' coordination and tactical prowess were unmatched, cutting through the enemy defenses like a hot knife through butter. Amid the chaos, Doc discovered a set of holographic displays. Hawk, over here, I think I found something. Hawk joined him, his eyes scanning the alien script. Can you translate it, Izzy? Izzy nodded, interfacing his tech with the Skizzle system. Give me a sec. Okay, got it. These are plans for a massive assault. They're targeting key cities worldwide, but there's something else. A fallback point. Looks like a base of operations outside the city. Hawk's mind raced. This must be where they're coordinating their attacks. If we can take it out, we can cripple their entire operation. Coordinates locked, Harp confirmed. It's in an old industrial zone, heavily fortified, but we can manage. Good. Let's move, Hawk ordered. They exited the building and made their way to the industrial zone, using the cover of darkness to avoid detection. The zone was a desolate landscape of rusted machinery and crumbling structures, perfect for an ambush. The Skizzle base was a formidable fortress, bristling with defenses. As Hawk's team scouted the perimeter, they noticed something alarming. "Look at that," Tank muttered, pointing to a large, glowing structure in the center of the base. "That's not just a command post. That's a portal." "A portal?" Hawk echoed, eyes narrowing. "To where?" Izzy's face paled as he analyzed the readings. "It's a gateway to their home planet, Zornan. They're bringing in reinforcements." Hawk's jaw tightened. "We need to destroy it. If they get more troops through, we won't stand a chance." The team devised a plan, coordinating with other military units nearby. U.S. Marines and Navy SEALs moved into position, ready to provide support. The assault was swift and brutal. Hawk's team led the charge, breaking through the outer defenses with a combination of precision strikes and overwhelming firepower. The Skizzle were caught off guard, their confusion exploited by the human forces. As they reached the portal, Tank planted charges while the others held off waves of Skizzle reinforcements. "Charges set," he yelled over the din of battle. "Fall back," Hawk ordered. They retreated to a safe distance and Tank detonated the explosives. The portal imploded in a spectacular burst of energy, taking a significant portion of the base with it. "That's one way to close a door," Harp quipped, breathing heavily. Hawk allowed himself a grim smile. "We bought ourselves some time, but this isn't over. We need to take this fight to their home planet. We need to show them that Earth is not to be trifled with." The team regrouped, gathering the intel they had acquired. The next step was clear. They would strike at the heart of the Skizzle's power on Zornan. The full fury of humanity was about to be unleashed, and the Skizzle would learn the hard way that they should have heeded the warnings. Part 4. The skies above Earth were eerily calm. The once chaotic battlefield was now silent, the Skizzle ships that had terrorized the planet mysteriously gone. Hawk's team stood at the forefront of humanity's final stand, their eyes fixed on the horizon where the last remnants of their enemy had vanished. "Hawk, what happened to the Skizzle ships?" Harp asked, disbelief coloring his voice. Hawk smirked. "Let's just say we took care of them. A little human ingenuity goes a long way." Indeed, humanity had devised a plan to deal with the Skizzle invaders in a way that left no trace. Utilizing advanced stealth technology and cunning tactics, the human military had systematically neutralized the Skizzle fleet. The captured ships were repurposed, their technology integrated into Earth's defenses and fleet. What remained of the Skizzle vessels had been disposed of in the cold void of space, a testament to human strategic brilliance. In the wake of the sudden disappearance of the Skizzle ships, humanity had wasted no time. Engineers and scientists had quickly reverse-engineered the captured Skizzle technology, integrating it into their own weapons and spacecraft. What emerged was a fleet of hybrid warships, bristling with advanced weaponry and shields far beyond anything Earth had ever seen. "All systems green," Izzy reported, his fingers flying over the controls of their newly outfitted command ship, the SS Vengeance. "We're ready for launch." "Let's do this," Hawk said, his gaze steely. "Set course for Zornan." The journey to the Skizzle home planet was swift, the human fleet moving with a precision and speed that the Skizzle had never anticipated. As they emerged from hyperspace, the blue-green orb of Zornan loomed before them, surrounded by a defensive armada that bristled with hostility. "Attention Skizzle forces," Hawk broadcasted on all frequencies. "This is your final warning. Surrender now, and we will spare your lives. Continue to resist, and you will face the full might of humanity." The response was immediate and defiant. "Humans, you dare to challenge us on our home soil. Prepare for annihilation." "So be it," Hawk muttered, closing the channel. "All units, engage." The battle that ensued was cataclysmic. The human fleet, armed with the Skizzle's own technology, tore through the enemy lines with brutal efficiency. The Skizzle ships, though numerous, were no match for the hybrid weapons now wielded by the humans. On the ground, Hawk's team led the assault on the Skizzle capital. The cityscape was a blend of alien architecture and sprawling military complexes. As they pushed forward, they encountered fierce resistance, but their determination never wavered. "Tank, we need those charges set on their main power grid," Hawk ordered. "On it," Tank replied, his voice gruff with concentration. "Cover me." While Tank planted the explosives, Doc moved through the ranks, tending to the wounded and keeping morale high. Harp and Izzy provided critical support, taking out key targets and hacking into Skizzle communications to sow confusion among their ranks. As they breached the final barrier, the heart of the Skizzle command lay before them. "This is it," Hawk said. "End of the line." They stormed the command center, neutralizing the guards with swift, lethal precision. Inside, the Skizzle leaders were frantic, their arrogance replaced by fear. "You should have listened," Hawk said coldly. "You brought this upon yourselves." With a final coordinated strike, they brought the Skizzle command structure crashing down. The charges Tank had set detonated, plunging the planet into chaos. In orbit, the human fleet unleashed their most powerful weapons, targeting the core of Zornan itself. "All ships, fire at will," Hawk commanded. The void erupted in a blinding light as the combined firepower of humanity's fleet converged on Zornon. The planet trembled, its surface cracking and erupting as the humans' wrath was made manifest. In a final cataclysmic explosion, Zornan was obliterated, reduced to nothing but cosmic dust. As the dust settled, Hawk's team stood aboard the USS Vengeance, looking out at the remnants of their enemy. "It's over," Hawk said quietly. "We did it." "We warned them," Harp said. "They didn't listen." Doc nodded. "They underestimated us. They won't make that mistake again." Izzy grinned. "And now the galaxy knows. Earth isn't to be trifled with." As the fleet set course for home, a sense of solemn victory settled over them. The Skizzle had pushed humanity too far, and in doing so, had unleashed a fury that had wiped them from existence. The message was clear. Earth had defended itself, and its defenders were not to be underestimated. Hawk looked at his team, pride swelling in his chest. "We did what we had to do. Now let's go home." The stars streaked by as the USS Vengeance and its fleet headed back to Earth, the heroes of a new era, ready to face whatever challenges the universe might throw their way next.